Welcome back. All right, I wanted to do something a little bit personal today, share with all you fine people on the internet, and talk about my own personal journey. So, I've never been shy about talking about mental health issues on the main channel or on this channel. And I've had struggles, and I've been very open about struggles I've had over the years. Now, this summer, of course, ended up being quite stressful, and I think that with everything that went on, my wife being in the hospital for about a month, and all of the feelings that came out of that, and then the regular season starts up again in the NHL. I didn't really have my vacation I normally do. I didn't get that mental break, and it's been weighing on me, and it was weighing on me a lot. A lot of things, just building up. And little things I would notice, like just little games I play on my phone, I was getting frustrated with, and I was losing on. I was like, I don't lose on these. These are just mindless games for fun. Why am I losing? Because I was stressed. I also noticed that when I was doing videos, it was taking me sometimes 15 takes to get a video done. So I was doing a lot more work, and a lot less was getting posted as a result. So I realized that I wasn't 100%. And so my wife talked me into booking a mental health discussion with someone through an app. Now, through TELUS, we have access to, which is our, it's like Comcast in the States and all the other cable companies, but it does all the internet, the phone, and everything as well. And so there's an app on there for health, and it's basically you can talk to a doctor like via almost like a Zoom call, like you're talking through your phone, and they can prescribe drugs if they need to, and discuss all these things and set up tests, and then you go get tests done. Now, for me, I went through the mental health side of it, which got me in touch with a social worker. She was very nice. It was about a 50-minute meeting that I had with her. And like I said, she was very nice. I don't know that I got a lot out of it, but I know that I came out of it thinking, okay, I need to change something. There's something that I don't know. One thing is, I don't like using medication for things. I can have a sore shoulder for weeks, and then suddenly I'll think, huh, you know, we do have Tylenol, we do have ibuprofen, we have various painkillers that might help this shoulder a little bit. And then, my brain kicks in. But I try not to use meds for much of anything unless I have to, right? Um, and yet with stress, the question was, well, what am I going to do? So I'm not big on natural remedies. I'm not big on all that, but I know that that is a growing field and everything. And so I did a quick web search of, all right, so I'm feeling really stressed. Is there anything that can maybe help? I got pills that it says I can take 2 of a day. I'm not going to show them to everybody on camera because I'm not a doctor, and I'm not going to endorse something that might be working for me that may not work for you. I would say, you know, search around, find out what other people are doing, what other people think is good for that kind of thing. But I started taking these pills. It's not even a week yet, and I noticed right away. Now, the first thing I noticed was that I got drowsy. So I've had one today. I'm a little bit drowsy. I figured that my body will build up some resistance to that, and I won't be drowsy. At some point, they won't make me drowsy. Melatonin, for instance, people use that to go to sleep. My body builds up resistance to melatonin in about 3 days. So if I'm having trouble sleeping, melatonin can work, but I have to not have tried melatonin for a long time. And I don't do sleeping pills because they make me really dopey. I got sleeping pills shortly before my wife got into the hospital in August, and the one night that I used them was the night before she got sick, and I had to call. We had to get the ambulance here, and she got taken to the hospital. And I felt terrible because I was really drowsy and really kind of dopey that whole day, and that was a time where she really needed me. So I'm not touching those now. That's not going to happen. I figure that's a cursed venture on my part. But I wanted to share with people because I know that there's always a lot of people going through stuff, and there's always a lot of stressors. And for me, I've always been a person that Okay, I'll stress about money. I don't have any money. Okay, all right, the money's taken care of. Well, now I'm going to stress about something. Maybe my arm hurts. Wondering what's going on with that. Well, if that gets fixed, then I'm stressing. So it moves, and I'm always stressed about one thing or another. The last few days, I'm not stressed. Now, I've been working on that anyways. One piece of advice that I've been given for years, and I've finally started to listen to is I don't go in the comment section very much at all anymore. I basically stay out of it. It's just it doesn't do me a lot of good. It used to, but it doesn't really anymore. Um, and so yeah, that's the change that I made. So if you're like, I don't know if THG's in the comments very much anymore, nah. Especially like today, it's Power Rankings Day, so that's why I'm posting a TEG video. Because people get mad about where their teams are and like, he should have put this one up, he should have put this one down. It's like, nah, I know what I'm doing and I know why, so I get it. I've been doing power rankings though for 8 years, and I'm comfortable in how I do them. And if people don't like, that's fine. Not everybody's gonna agree. My power rankings were born out of not agreeing with how others did power rankings. Me going, I don't think these guys even watched the games this week. Get really frustrating when I watched a team lose all 3 games and then move up a few spots. I'm like, seriously? They moved up a few spots when they lost every game because you think they're about to turn it around? Well, that's nice. But getting back to the point of this video, lowering my stress has been really important, and fearing mortality and all, like, it gets really dark really fast. And once you get into that spiral, it can be really difficult to get out. And I have been getting into that spiral more and more often. And I know that the stress of August and of that month has been major because there's certain things that took place when my wife was in the hospital that I've forgotten about, that she'll bring up. And I'm like, I had forgotten about that. And it's not that I've got a bad memory. It's that my brain's going, well, that hurts, and that hurts, and all right, we'll just take that out. We'll take. It's always done that. It is all my brain has always worked that way. That something that's traumatic or really upsetting, it may selectively decide, well, this just sucks. I'm taking that memory out. That one sucks. I'm taking it. Those are gone. So it's been that way since I was a little kid. I can tell you about my neighborhood from when I was 3 or 4 years old. I can tell you about going in the hospital and coming out of the hospital. I don't have memories of what occurred while in the hospital because I got a spinal tap and those hurt like hell. So my body went, I'm not going to remember this. So that's the kind of thing that my brain will just go, nope. And definitely seeing my wife in the state she was in, realizing how close we came to losing her. It was really eye opening. And so for somebody who's always struggled with the mental health side of things, that made it worse. That really, amped it up. It's left Yvonne and I at times where the conversations get kind of frustrating and upsetting on both of our sides because we had very different experiences during that. But I definitely think that the medication I'm taking is working. I think it is. And maybe the next time that we have one of those discussions, maybe it goes a little better, and maybe I can really be the person that I want to be in that situation. Life just never stops; it just keeps going. There's always the potential for tragedy around the corner, and it's one of those things that we accept as humans as we go on from day to day to day, and I wanted to let everybody know that, I'm still going through that. I'm still on that journey myself. And the success of the channel is fantastic, but it doesn't fix what's up here. That the fixing what's up here, and I've said this before, I wish that was treated the same as when your shoulder is sore or you got a bad knee, you go to the doctor. And that there wasn't shame attached to it, like, they're not very strong. They got all these head problems, and so that's why I don't I don't ever refer to anything and use like autistic as an insult. I don't talk about people being slow as an insult. I just don't. There are tons of insults in the English language that are fantastic. and then there are those that are not fantastic, because people reading it might be like, so you're talking about me then. So yeah, I wanted to share that information with all you fine people on the internet. I hope everybody's doing well. We are coming up on the holidays. The holidays can be very tough for people. So if you're one of those people who has a really tough time with the holidays, there's no shame in not decorating a ton at Christmas time. I had one Christmas I didn't decorate at all. I was having a really hard time. No Christmas tree went up. I did not observe Christmas for the most part that year. I just pretended it was just like any other day, which is part of the reason why on this, well, on the main channel, we have a tradition of having a live stream on Christmas Day, because we understand that not everybody has this great family experience and that everybody's all kumbaya. We understand that. And the holidays can be really difficult. So we do try to make sure we're having those live streams and we're reaching out to people. But I wanted to, in this video, let people know, hey, sometimes it's a hard time for me too. This is, of course, Sienna's, the character from Terrifier 2 and 3, the foil for Art the Clown. Funny thing with this t-shirt is I went to Spirit Halloween and I couldn't find anything Sienna, and I said to Yvonne, I said, I can't believe they don't have anything with Sienna on it, because she's like kind of a badass in those movies. And then when she went back to Spirit Halloween, she found this for me. So I don't know where she found it. I don't know how I missed it, but I missed it. So it happens. But anyways, there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It is greatly appreciated. All my thoughts going to anybody who's struggling right now. It's a thing. It happens. It's not a shame to admit you're going through stuff, especially at certain times of year. There's triggers. There's anniversaries of dates you'd rather not think about. There are incidents that take place every day that harm those of us mentally, who might be sensitive to them, or it's somebody close to us going through a lot. But just know that is an everybody thing, and don't be afraid of asking for help. It is a good idea. It's the right idea. Like I said, the session that I went through this past week, the counseling session I had, didn't do a lot for me personally, but it did kind of give me an idea of, okay, I think I know what I can do. And then there are a couple other things too that I can start trying to do, like a little bit of meditation here and there if I'm stressed out or ticked off by something. But definitely the medication helps. So thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. If you haven't already hit like and subscribe, please do. That being said, I got to get back to watching some hockey. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.